People, Deluded, I'm back again. I'm here with ZAH, aka the Midget Zimbo. We've got a lot to discuss, man. Whether Arsenal's season can be deemed as a failure, can we beat Nottingham Forest? Obviously, addressing the board, Mikel Arteta, etc., etc. How you doing, my friend, man? What are you saying?
I'm angry,
in your
Deluded.
face.
I am angry. I am so angry. I was so angry at the state of affairs at this football club that it compromised the rage in my system, compromised my immune system. I went down with the flu due to the anger this fucking club has put me
Get
through,
well,
man.
my guy, man.
I am angry, bro. It is. I don't even know where to begin. There is a serious lack of accountability at our club. There is a serious lack of accountability at our club. And it starts at every level. At every level, at the board level, as you alluded to, the manager, the players, everybody. There is no worse feeling, Deluded, no worse feeling on this planet than the feeling of being let down by somebody. That's
Why
what
do you
these.
feel let down?
That's what this club did. That is what this club did. I mean, it's how they keep telling us. They keep telling us, yo, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. But it just never happens. And each time it never happens, guess what? We walk into the next season, it's still the same faces, still the same faces at the club. Nothing changes. It's literally the only profession on this planet that I can think of. I was an accountant. If I don't
But
meet
you
my
could end up
goals,
working for Arsenal, man. You should say that a bit louder, man.
that was my former life. Now I'm a media. I don't want to go back to that accounting nonsense. When I was an accountant, if you didn't meet any one of your goals, bro, as a person, there's none of this. I like you, I don't like you, and all. I had best friends that I sat next to that got fired just like that. Good people, very good people, simply because they didn't do what they were meant to do. And that's what's going on at Arsenal is we set these goals, we say that this is what we want to do, and then come at the end of the season when it doesn't happen, when now you're 11 points off, that's when you now come out as a manager and say dig deep. This is when we do the rallying cry. It's like don't give up. Come on, bro. Like seriously, that is an insult to all
Some
the
fans are lapping
fans,
up the bullshit, man.
to all the fans, to everybody, and I am so sick and tired of it. I'm so sick and tired of his bro. There are people running around on the internet there in just defending everything and blaming stuff. I saw somebody blaming AFTV for this. What?
Bro, it's everything but the manager. I mean, whenever people say the AFTV thing, yeah, cool, you can say all of that. Big up AFTV, you can say all of that. But if we won the Prem and the champs and all these things, by that same rhetoric, are you going to praise them for us winning
Yeah.
something? It's
No.
everybody but the football club. Now, for me, I've come to understand now, like what I want to achieve on the sporting front, they don't want to achieve. We'd have to achieve it in spite of everything. I don't think there'll be a collective shift for us winning a Prem or a Champions League. As much as I agree with you about being disappointed, bro, and I definitely am, because we're football fans. When I look at the balance sheet, when I look at the fact that we're in top four, when I look at what we did in the summer, let alone January, it sounds romantic with the injuries and the injustice and all of that. But there's a thin line between, for me, incompetence, naivety, and stupidity, and dreaming. And me and you said it here before. When I think of Arsenal, I think of Coach Carter. I think of Mighty Ducks. If you haven't watched that film, people, I keep saying it. Go and watch it. And that's why I hate this cult-like figure. I do think cult-like movement. I do think there's some that are committed to hating the football club and Mikel Arteta more than achieving success. Vice versa, I think there's this positive toxic thing, bro. I think some people are in love with Mikel Arteta and that ideology more than Arsenal Football Club. Now, I'm not here to say if he should go or leave. I don't feel you can have a dead position on him. I'm not talking for the Balance fans that have done the mathematics and he's like, he's not the guy, or give him more time. But it's a shame. And I want to ask you this year, why is it that people behave? I tweeted about this before he went live. Why is it that people behave like Mikel Arteta is a damsel in distress? Now, I only say that because clearly we know what our board operates like. But nobody put a gun to my man's head to take this job. He's been in the job for 6 years and his influence is going up. Even when you read The Athletic, he's having says in who our sporting director is. He was hired by a sporting director. He clearly liked the job so much. He signed a new deal for 15 mil a year or something like that. So it can't be that deep. And we all know he's probably chatting a degree of shit. But if I take his words for at face value, the man comes out and says, I've got the best owners. You ain't got a leg to stand on. It's a relationship of convenience. You're gaining a lot of power. So you have to take the L's as well as the W's, if I'm honest. Like, why do you think there's this cult-like thing? Because I must admit, bro, I think the club know this. I think for as much as people are dismayed and whatnot, I think they've got their figure pieces that will do the toxic positive thing, as you alluded to on the socials. I think there is a lot of division. So I think it's all fun and games. We've still got a positive net spend. I think the only thing that the Cronkies are looking at and thinking, oh, is you would have seen against West Ham, fans started leaving the ground early. That's the only time panic set in here.
Honestly, I really don't know. I really don't know how he's worked up at such a level
He
of
ain't earned
cult
that credit in the
status,
bank.
having done nothing. What has he deluded? What has he done? What has he done for people to people, bro? I saw Real Madrid fans. I saw Real Madrid fans boo Carlo Ancelotti. I saw Real Madrid fans
They ran out
boo
Gareth
the
Bale as
team.
well.
I saw Real Madrid fans boo all these people after they had just won the Champions League last season, but because they weren't playing well, they didn't play well for a game, their fans let them hear it. Arteta, I don't, and that's somebody that's won them how many Champions
It's
League
a
trophies?
dictatorship here, bro. We just enjoy the
Arteta
highs
has,
and the lows, bro. We
but
just
how
like
how has
competing
he
for the sake of it.
how has he achieved this? How that's what I don't understand. I don't understand, and I need to get into the brains of Arsenal fans to really get how in the 5 year span that he's been here, what
And
he's
these three
done
years in particular.
to is it so it is these 3 years that we flirted. It's like
I
how is it
think it's
managed?
these 3 years in particular, including now. Yeah, obviously, I'll cut him a bit of slack, rebuild all of that. You did play a part in the mess. You inherited mess. I could have questioned whether we should sign you or not. Cool. Them kind of years there. But you see, once the 2022-23 season and where we are to this point, the only question is getting over the line. That's all that matters. And so far, the club is one thing. We're going to
Three
definitely talk about
times
the
in a
board.
fucking row, man.
Exactly. He hasn't got over the line, bro. Like, he's not really getting to any cup finals. He's not bringing any domestic cups. We're falling short in the Premier League for whatever reason. Yeah, we can talk about the reasons, but it's a results-driven business. Fundamentally, we're here explaining. And I do think some Arsenal fans get into this trap of thinking, like in life, like you mentioned going from accountancy, right, to media. I'm sure in theory that sounds like going from accountancy to media. It's a straightforward direction, but I'm sure you had to, mix and blend and go everywhere. There's never a straight path to success. And I think Arsenal fans get into the trap of thinking, like life in football, everything's going to be ideal. You're never going to get refereeing decisions against you. Everyone's going to stay fit. The key players are going to get better and better. Anyone who's in a purple patch is going to do what they're doing. And for me, obviously, I think they're trying to make him the Arsene Wenger. I did a video about this, but he's not done what Arsene Wenger's done. He's not. Football has also gone beyond Sir Alex Ferguson and obviously Wenger. Pep Guardiola isn't even like that at City. They're all essentially head coaches. So when you're betting all of this in this guy, I have to see certain things. Of course, the board have not put their best foot forward. But again, if my man signed a new deal, you are clearly happy to work within the framework of whatever they're telling you. And for whatever reason, you're not getting over the line. I'm not suggesting getting rid of Arteta necessarily wins us anything, nor am I saying it proceeding with him gets us somewhere. I'm just simply saying, one, how far do we go? And two, everyone has to hold licks for this, sir.
Yeah, there has to be accountability. On the Wenger thing, I mean, Wenger, what? We got Wenger in 90, what was that, 95, 96? I can't
Yeah,
remember.
very
95,
early.
96. He won his first title in like 3 years. The guy isn't, Arteta's been here for time. It's been three goes at it, Deluded. It's
And
been,
sink or swim, we don't
and
throw the kitchen sink at things, and
I
we
was
bottle it.
moaning during the season because of the tunnel vision, like last week and the weeks before and all that, because you're going game by game when it's not over and you can't see the big picture. You're focusing on a game by game thing, you know. I was looking at the cards and all that. Yeah, the red cards and injuries. Is it unfair? Fine. Yeah, whatever. Step
Is
back.
that why we didn't beat Aston Villa? Like,
S-
is that why we
s-
were so toothless against West Ham, bro?
Step back.
Jarring.
Step back. Go back to the beginning of the season. Are we prepared? Were we even prepared to go into this season? We knew what our number one problem issue was. And this is why Arteta needs to hold a lot of accountability. This is why I want his neck on a fucking stick, because we knew what our problem was. We got rid of Ed Nketiah. We got rid of Emil Smith Rowe. We got rid of Fabio
Fabio.
Vieira. We
He was
got
getting some
rid.
goals and assists. Could have at least recalled him. Not saying he
We
would have been
got
the Messiah.
We got rid of Fabio Vieira, Eddie Nketiah, Emil Smith Rowe, and I think they might Reece Nelson. Four people. Four people. These are four attackers. These are four attackers. We got rid of four attackers. And what did this guy give a thumbs up to? What did this guy give a thumbs up to? He gave a thumbs up to the acquisition of a defender who we did not need at all at the time, a midfielder who we did not need. He is going for everything but the priority things that we needed. He got a freaking goalkeeper, which was his seventh goalkeeper, sixth goalkeeper that he's bought. Sixth goal, bro. There have been
And
six
that was
goalkeepers
that was
bought.
deadline day as well. So we clearly made a mess of the summer, just like we made a mess of January. So the club can't sit here, as well as Arteta. You lot can't sit here and tell me you want to win stuff. If anything, away from the fans, I feel sorry for the players because it's toothless. Declan Rice was begging for signings. I'm sure Mikel Arteta was begging and whatnot, but I think it's a twofold. I actually think Mikel Arteta is happy to work at Arsenal because part of him wants to do good stuff,
There's
and
no
he's got
accountability. Bro,
yeah,
that's the
and
perfect.
he's got a
The
sweet
Arsenal
gig.
job is the perfect job, Deluded. It's the perfect
Yeah,
job.
yeah.
You are not judged on results. You just collect a paycheck. The guy is getting paid 15 million pounds a year. That is a top managerial salary to do nothing. There is zero accountability on it.
And
Zero.
is that exactly? And that's where I think
What has
it's
he
a
done to
twofold.
earn that 15 million pounds? Why
Exactly.
is he
I
paid
think it's a
15 million
twofold
pounds?
because when you deep it, Zah, yeah, like he's growing in stature with the Cronkies. He's getting more of his players. He's been backed more than whatever we say about the Cronkies remit and things like that, which I still maintain a lot of that is true. It's now a point of me accepting it. This is how the Cronkies operate. They've broken their club record transfer. They've broken our club record transfer. They've given him peas. They're letting him buy as many goalkeepers and left backs and all of these kind of things. I personally feel, looking in the summer collectively as a club, we failed not just on the transfer front, and whether people like Edu or not, I'm starting to believe Edu got a bit frustrated. He wanted to go in one direction, the club wanted to go in another. His power is diminishing. It's no coincidence we've made a mess of our sporting director situation, still not acted or did anything different, because there could have been windows where, like the January window, Edu could have been there and we still don't sign anyone. I think the January window was 9 times out of 10. If Mikel Arteta was a little spoiled kid, we give you money. It's like the one time the parent has said, you know what, you actually can't have any sweets. We've got to be honest. This is a relationship of convenience. He is managing the Arsenal, a massive job as a novice manager 6 years into the game. And I'm not necessarily saying to sack him, but one thing that jars me is when people say, who are we going to get? That's obviously logical. But in the same vein, who knew about Mikel Arteta? We knew he was doing his thing at City, but he never had a CV. It's not making sense.
There are managers that are paid less than him.
No one should
Almost
be
half the amount that he
undefendable.
is paid that have won trophies. We can get them. Offer them the 15 million. Take the fucking 15 million pounds away from
The Cronkies
Arteta.
are not to blame why we missed out via 2 points last season. That was all with us. The Cronkies are not why we're 11 points off. Indirectly, clearly, we as a club, we've made a mess, but they're not to blame for us being 2 goals up. Then a team is a reflection of the manager, regardless of who's out there. I never get the kill or die, throw in the kitchen sink. We're going to die on our swords like Vikings, like West Ham. We revert to type. This is my thing. Everyone's to be blamed. And again, it jars me that people look at Mikel Arteta as a damsel in distress. Like, oh, he's being done so dirty. No, he's not.
No,
Too
he
many
hasn't.
people are loyal to their agenda before Mikel Arteta. I wanna, it's not just a Mikel Arteta thing. We're
Yeah,
gonna
we'll
talk
we'll
about
touch
the
on
board and
everything.
we're going to talk about the board and everything, yeah. But I'm sure you would have seen his press conference. He said over my dead body when talking about giving up on the Premier League
It
race.
it
Now,
ruined
chat,
it ruined my day. It's the first thing I saw when I woke up, and it ruined my day. Ruined my day. I saw that quote. I lost my fucking mind, dude.
should it ruin your day? Because, like, big up Alex. As Alex said, he says, just keep fighting. If we beat Forest, we're 8 points behind with 33 to play for. If Liverpool slip up from here, but we missed that opportunity because we gave up,
Why
I'd be
didn't we? Why
furious.
didn't we beat West Ham?
I listen. I'm just asking the question because I'm sure everybody knows my thoughts. I'm asking the question. I personally feel Pete at Arsenal where it comes to recruitment, future proofing, and I know more than anyone about what this football thing is at them deeper levels. I do feel though there's too much mathematicians, there's too much accountancy, there's too much future planning. We're always thinking about tomorrow. Granted, you should use the past as somewhat, you should learn from the past. You should always think about the future. But you need to live in the present moment and seize the present. Look at Liverpool. Liverpool, there's a lot of parallels, in my opinions, are Liverpool might fall off a cliff next season. I very much doubt even their manager came out and said they didn't expect to win the league. We all know their three key players' contracts running down and questions over their ownership, but they found a way to make it happen. Yes, on the grand scheme of things, Liverpool against City, Liverpool won 1-2 battles. They didn't win the war. They're going against a juggernaut. But whether it was because of Klopp, whether it's because of Michael Edwards or the players they recruited, they still managed to claim something. Liverpool this season have seized the presence. Tomorrow's problems are tomorrow's problems. It's set in stone, more or less, that in 2024-25, they've won the league. Us, there's a lot of explaining. We had no injuries basically last season. Yes, there was a couple. We've had injuries galore this year. 2022-23, which I cut a lot of it, I kind of cut a blight for that. That was the first year. But there's been 3 years, different contexts. Fundamentally, we have not won. And that's where the conversation for me, ZAH, has to go. We can all talk about, context and reasons and, cut a bit of a blight and be harsher here. But by the same logic, it's a results-driven business. Did you win the league or not? The league doesn't always tell the truth, but it doesn't lie. Everything else
That's all
from the
that
start of
matters.
start of August to May is neither here nor there. So everything in between is neither here nor there. Where'd you start? Where'd you finish? It's
That's
jarring,
literally all
man.
that matters. Literally all that matters. Over my dead body. Now they want to do this whole leadership. Now he wants to stand and puff up his chest and all that. Bro,
It's always
spineless.
fighting tomorrow, never
I
fighting in the
was
present.
I was shocked by the players West Ham, that West Ham game, man. I was really hurt. This is deluded. I tell you what, I this squad of players, and this is why I'm so angry, and it's hurting me so much, and I'm losing my mind. It's because I really believed in these guys.
Sorry,
I
Zard. That's the point. Fountain Titan. That's the point. Their owners are shit. They've still found a way to make it
yeah,
happen. That's
yeah,
actually the point.
yeah.
So at
It's
one point, are
it's
we going to go from? I'm not saying don't blame the Cronkies, but at what point are we? If they're not going anywhere, they've just owned the club since 2018. We know how, whether we agree with it or not, we know how they work. When are we going to have a manager that's able to succeed, rightly or wrongly, within this framework, or look another way? That's exactly the point. But anyways, I'll cut you off. I
the
just wanted to
the
address that.
Cronkies. And here's the thing, right? I mean, I said it. I guess I flip flopped on this and all that, but the Cronkies have invested 700 million. They have invested. It's his choices. The people that he chose to trust. The people that he chose to trust is just it's crazy. The effort that I saw at West Ham, bro. I was when you this squad. I really felt for a liking for this squad, it, and it really, really, really hurts. Unlike previous squads, the ones before this, I wasn't really as invested and all that. So being let down by them was just like, okay, all right. But these guys, I really did genuinely believe in these guys. So much so that I went on a tirade. In a squad era or whatever. I'm usually all right. I'll buy just one guy's jersey. I usually buy one guy, whatever, and that's it. All of these guys, I have the Odegaard, Saka thing. I went out of my way, love these guys, and then they do the when it all counts. Everything is on the line, bro. Everything is on the line. That West Ham game, you know that this is it. This is it. This is the end of the season, and then you don't even show up. and you just it's just a
You can see
sorry
that goal in the
case.
44th minute is crazy. And that's what annoys me, Zar, because statistically, we're not a terrible side. I can be frustrated about everything, but we're not a terrible side. Like, I think we've fallen off a cliff, for instance, defensively. We're still up there for clean sheets. I think everyone in this chat will say we need new attackers or add attacking options. Statistically, we're up there. The top six record is good. It's just the small margins, time in time again, that we're not learning from. And if I'm very harsh, yes, injuries, a team is a reflection of the manager, the good and the bad. Reverting to type. Mikel Arteta does not change. Yeah, he might change little things here. We play the same way at the same tempo 9 times out of 10 from minute 0 to 90. Doesn't shock me when the
Doesn't
players do
change
that.
anything.
It doesn't change. If not, and again, if nothing changes, nothing changes. And for me, for the people that are Arteta sexuals, if you rate this guy to the high heavens, then hold him accountable to those standards. Because had we have won the league by 11 points, it would have been a waffling session about Arteta. I must admit, Zah, for me personally, where you look at the owners, everybody in around the kind of boardroom, Arteta and the players, I feel sorry the most for the players. That they defo have let themselves down. They definitely haven't been switched on. A lot of them have gone missing, the ones that have been fit, but a lot of them have ran their race. We've got squad players that are first team regulars. We're relying on 2 18-year-olds. We've seen injuries galore. We all know in the summer what we needed to build. Declan Rice, who cannot shut up on the best of days. The best thing he did in January, say, I'm sure the manager's going to sign some players. We're playing Tierney left back. Left wing. So if we're saying this, what are the players saying when Saka's gone down, when this guy's gone down, when this one is entering a crucial period of the contracts? I feel sorry for them. The manager, maybe in January, I feel sorry for you because you seem like you was begging for signings. But at the end of the day, if the Cronky sat there and said, we've given you peas, we know that we haven't given you the biggest of budgets, but once we've got through our remit of how we want to operate, we've given you the money, you've not done well enough, you've got to hold that. And fundamentally, you took the job. You took the job. I can criticize the owners, but brother, you took the job, bro. You took the job. The Cronkies are not to blame as to why we dropped points 2 goals up against West Ham. That's you lot on the players.
I hear what you're saying on the players thing, but
Everyone has to hold licks, man.
I think they need more heat. I think they I hear the whole injury thing and all that, but Deluded. These guys, they're guys being. Let me ask you this: do we have any leaders in the squad? Did you see any leaders on that pitch
I think, to be
against West
honest
Ham?
with you,
Did you see any leaders on that pitch?
no,
West Ham.
isolated to West Ham, there was no leadership qualities. And I would say for me, I always think of West Ham and Newcastle, especially our defenders and our centre mid Declan Rice. I'm not going to draw them out. Obviously, in that game, you're getting drawn out, and we're all part of this. But 9 times out of 10, I've seen you lot this season that have stood up to be counted. David Raya the same, and that was probably the only highlight from West Ham. When you look at that Newcastle game where Raya's fucked up and made that mistake here, 9 times out of 10, that man saved us. So the ones that 9 times out of 10 save us, when they need saving, there's no one else. I do think the mentality's improved and whatnot, but the manager and the players, let's have it right, they're soft. There's when it's push comes to shove and there's a million reasons to be negative, they don't die on their sword. I can only speak for myself. We could have lost to West Ham, and if I saw the things that I didn't see, I could say, you know what, we go back to the drawing board, we lick our wounds, but I saw Spartans out there. It's not enough to want it every now and again. You've got to want it more than you want to be alive. I never saw these players go out there like we can have no regrets, like our title challenge is on the line, regardless of what's going on. Clearly, we've set ourselves up to fail. People can cry about injuries and whatnot, but we haven't put our best foot forward. But to answer your question about leaders, brother, there's no leaders. Like, I can count on one hand who I would say are leaders, whether that's leading by example or puffing out chest. David Raya, Gabriel Magalhaes, to a slight degree, Saliba, Declan Rice. Benjamin White's not been relevant this season because he's been injured. Benjamin White, young Lewis Skelly, young Ethan, Bukayo Saka needs no. I don't need to get into that. I think we can question Kai Havertz's ability, but I do think he's got that mentality. Clearly, he should be on the bench and whatnot. Other than that, we're Uman and Arin.
And
when
I'm sorry,
got too much things on and off this field are for us, yeah. Sorry to cut you. Too much things for Arsenal on and off the field have to go a million billion % right for us to win or do anything. Any spanner in the works, any bit of adversity, 9 times out of 10.
Why are we set up like that? Why are we
been
set
like
up
that for years? And I don't think it's going to change. I just think it's in our DNA. It kills me to say it. Definitely of recent years. Like, we just ain't got it. It's too nice. It's too comfortable. When we're doing well, even the PR that comes out by this club directly and indirectly from the journalists that clearly just want to get seats in the game. When things are going right, waffle to the high heavens. When things are going bad, it's illegal to say it. It's
Let me
illegal
t-
to say it. I'm not
let me
talking
t-
about people that, slag off everything and everything's terrible. People that are just honest about the club. If we were that good, we'd win the title. And I've said this to you before. I don't really care how good we are at anything anymore. What I mean by that is, if I know we're good at something, keep it up, make it better. It's the shortcomings that are, if we improve, that's going to get us over the line. We've already got, on the best of days, a mountain to climb. So at least give yourself, if we actually imagine a mountain, make sure you got the boots, make sure you got the right strings in your bag and whatnot. We're trying to climb a snowy mountain in a t-shirt. Clearly, we're going to get hypothermia. We're going to dead. Things are going to happen. We've set ourselves up to fail.
and
And that makes
it's
me look at what we're doing.
so I differ a little bit from you on the players.
On
They need to hold more responsibilities.
100%, they're the ones playing.
We're paying people that were on that field. They're players on that field that are being paid a talisman level salary, a talisman level salary. People on that field that are being earning a talisman level salary. And if I go back into my memory bank looking for a moment from one of those guys, the earliest thing I can find is moments from last season. That, my friend, is not good enough. That, my friend, is not good enough. When
When it's
you are
well,
being
everybody
paid
wants to play.
a talisman season, a talisman thing, you cannot afford to be having down seasons. And for every single one of them, Declan Rice, bro, the last thing I remember he did, apart from taking corners, was that header at Luton. What has Odegaard done this season? These are
You know
our
me, I
big
love
players.
Martin
These are
Wondergaard,
the
but
guys that I look at when the chips are down. I don't care who they're surrounded by. When their chips are down, these are our leaders. These
you're
are
not
our
even
guys.
seeing them.
We pay them big salaries for moments to change stuff.
I,
And what
I'll
the
be
hell do
honest,
they
yeah.
do?
You
Nothing
know
all
me,
season.
I love Martin Odegaard when he's on song. But if I play
He
devil's
pissed me
advocate,
off. He really
if
pissed
I
me
play
off.
devil's advocate, if I say we've got a soft underbelly, we don't react in adversity, then Martin Odegaard is the right captain for this team. I don't see it enough. I could point towards, I don't even want to gas up Spurs, but the two North London derbies, I would say smashing City 5-1. I'm seeing protagonists. I'm seeing everyone want to stand up to be counted. But we can count on one hand, or even struggling, because you was going back to last season when we have done that enough. It's not enough. If you look at you could look at it. We've got 3 losses this season, draws, and all these things. But the devil is in those details. When we have lost, we've just simply not turned up. That's not good enough. Of course, indirectly, a lot of that is because of what we didn't do with the squad. Newcastle away, Bournemouth away, West Ham away. We did not turn up. We're completely toothless. That added margin to go 2 goals up against Aston Villa and see it through. And half of the other games, a lot of the games that we've dropped points are identical. These are the things that had to have been erased in the summer if we want to get over the line. We finished 2 points behind City. We always talk about fine margins. 9 times out of 10, we're not on the right side of it. It's just jarring. It's upsetting. And even going back to the summer, I've had this on the screen for a while. What do you make of Arteta's comments? He said, well, Mikel Arteta on whether Arsenal will have a new sporting director before the summer. Our plan B is to nail the process that we believe is the best to try to find the person that is the best one for the moment that Arsenal is in right now. What's the club
Don't even
is
piss me
trying to do?
off. It's the usual. This
He's got a
club
say in the
thinks
sporting
it's
director as well.
this fucking club thinks it's some sort of revolutionary thing. It's some sort of next level business, next gen thing that's elite at what it does
It's a
and should be looked
custodianship,
at
man.
by
We have to accept it.
why should people follow what we do when we haven't won anything? Why should it's like he talks about this club like it's very like, oh, we know what we're doing, brother. What we're doing, the only
They do
thing
know
that
what they're doing.
reflects
It's
on what
not
you're
what
doing
we
is
want,
results
though.
on the football field.
It's not
Wait,
what
what you
we
say?
want, bro. They do know
It's
what they're doing. It's not what we want, and that's where for me,
it's
I've come to
what
accept
is
it.
the what has that done? What has
They're
that done?
happy.
It's gotten us nothing. It's gotten
They're
us nothing,
happy.
bro.
They don't. I don't
What's the
think this
goal of a
team.
football club?
We're not collective. We don't collectively want to win silverware. That's one thing I'll give Arteta. I think you want to win silverware, but my caveat to that is how you've gone about it has been very naive. The owners, they would like it. They don't want to win silverware like that. there's very few owners in the Premier League that I think are as ambitious as their fans. They don't want to win it like that. We'd have to win in spite of how we feel about the board rather than a direct demand. At the same time, they have presented money. They're back in the top four. The PSR things, the same journalists that tell us that PSR, this, that, and the other, it's now come out that it's self-imposed PSR measures that we're going against. We can actually spend money. This summer will tell us everything. I don't know about anybody else. For me, it's show and prove. I don't want to do this if and buts thing. You show me what you want to do in the summer, I take it from there.
7th goalkeeper this summer. That's your first
I'm not
summer
against that. We
signing
need
that's been
goalies.
prioritized.
We need goalies. I'm 100%. I'm not against that. When it comes to
Deluded. How can you buy 7 keepers?
I'm not,
in 5 years.
To be honest with you, there was times we needed them. There's definitely been some shit keepers and all of that. I'm not one to just look at how many players we signed. As I said, for me, it's in the next 3 years. You need to sort out your goalkeeping situation. You need 2 goalies. Neto is not going to be here. Where I look at it, the manager has said we've got one of the smallest squads. We've got a squad of 19. We had 3 or 4 long-term injuries competing in 4. Whether that's on Arteta or the board, you all tell me it's a collaborative thing. You're all in it together. I need to see that starting 11.
You really need 2 goalkeepers?
Of course you need 2 keepers. We definitely need 2 keepers. You need a third choice. Maybe an academy don could do that. I don't know if they're going to keep Neto permanently. We definitely need 2 keepers. 100% Raya's Raya.
Do we need our second goalkeeper to be someone that we spend 40 million pounds on, or can we not just put an academy kid to have?
I don't want 2 academy goalies. I think it's silly. It's silly.
In reality, bro. I mean, the goalkeeper. It's very rare for them to get into,
keeper, my guy. We do. The third choice can be an academy done. We need a decent second choice goalkeeper.
Get that, but I'm just getting sick and tired, dude. I'm just getting sick and tired of us.
You can't have 2 kids in that position.
Wasting resources in an area that it's like the only area that we address is the goalkeeping position, and we address the goalkeeping position every single season. Every single season, we're buying a new goalkeeper instead of and wait. When was the last time we bought a forward? Trossard was the last one, right?
And that's where I now get into it, because when you really deep it, it appeared on one hand that as a club we had a bit of stability. I still think defensively we do. Obviously, you could caveat that, and I've just spoken about goalies, Saliba's contract, yada yada yada. But defensively, we're somewhat cool. Midfield, Declan Rice is going to keep playing as an 8, but you could say that's a question in itself. At this moment in time, Partey is cutting. I think where we look at Arsenal, we all want a striker, we want a winger, we want all these things. It's raised in question. Yes, Ethan can deputize, but beyond the obvious areas we need to address, we probably need a 10. We clearly need a striker. It's not sustainable. You see, when you want to win a league title, you need to be able to answer questions. We don't have players that, because reality is, bro, in a 38-game calendar, exactly, and I'm going to get into it. Like, throughout a 38-game season, sometimes games are going to go left, like even the West Ham game. I could scream, shout, question mark tactics. But you see, if you've got a talismanic figure, a guy that has an air of inevitability, he might just nick us 2 goals and we go back to the training ground and we praise the Lord that we got 3 points. We don't have that. We don't have players that are inevitable.
That money was invested. That money was invested in Kai Havertz.
On nonsense, yeah, exactly. On nonsense.
280,000
on nonsense, and that's where Arteta has to hold it. That's why I'm saying
he has to be fired, because
that's why I'm saying to you, we can't just sit here and talk about the Cronkies and this and the third
down completely. He and all those people have to go.
This is why you can't just sit there and blame the Cronkies, because at the end of the day, they're not telling him to buy all these left backs. They're giving him the piece. But again, as I said, we've got to look at it as, all right, they're on this self-sustaining model. It's not going anywhere. They put people in charge and they operate like that. We can't simultaneously blame them and then see that when you read The Athletic and all these mouthpieces that Mikel Arteta is the one that pushed for this, Mikel Arteta is the one that pushed for that. You hear it all the time with Moreno, Calafiori and the ripping up deals. You have to ask questions. You see, when you want to win a league, you need to be able to answer certain things. Who is getting the goals? Bukayo Saka has that inevitability. Kai can chip in, but he's not that guy that's going to get you over the line. Clearly, we're struggling with Martinelli and Trossard. We knew all of these things. Obviously, again, I think us Arsenal fans focus on a winger and a striker. It's raised in question Martin Odegaard. Let's be real. Fair weather player, pretty boy. I love the guy. Odegaard is one of my favorite footballers to watch within this Arsenal team. But when the going gets tough, he's not going to roll his socks up and make it happen. And if you're not going to be that kind of guy, at least let me see you getting on the ball consistently and this and that and the other. I don't know what's going on, what a reason or the reasons are for your form, but these players need to get it together. But that's why I said, bro, I allow the players a bit, because I think a lot of you just ain't got it. I have to look at people above. My man was at City. He knows what's required, and we're still doing foolishness, bro.
And the what's it called? And they gaslight you on Twitter
Love
saying
a
he's number
gaslight.
one. Odegaard is number one in touches inside the box, passes, and all that, brother.
What does that
I don't
mean,
need to.
bro?
I don't need to see your stats. Every second that he's been on the field for Arsenal, these two eyes have seen and absorbed everything. Trust me. I don't need to. I don't need your little stats to think. I wanted to shift gears here a little bit and ask you, Deluded
Go
here,
ahead.
right? So there's another element. So we touched on the players, the manager, the board a little bit. There is now another element to this whole thing, which is the fans. Bro, what is it gonna take? Because this is what I was thinking, stewing over in bed, right? Because we've been in worse positions. Well, this sucks, right? This sucks, the falling short. I think falling short is actually worse than coming eighth. Because eighth, you accepted
No,
very
no,
early.
eighth is coming worse, bro. But second, it hurts because you're so
Yeah,
close, but
I,
so
I
far.
don't I don't know. But what is it gonna take, Deluded? What is it gonna take to get the fans on side? Because it seems like even in our worst moment down in the dumps, our fans can just never agree on on what, and it's to the point where it's extreme, where it's people don't even rationale is just thrown out. People won't even entertain what's actually going on. It's like you're watching the same game, but you arrive at two completely different conclusions. It's like, even at the worst of the Wenger out period, the guy still had people dying on a hill for him. Like, what is it gonna take for everyone just to be on the same side and say, all right, maybe, yeah, I like Arteta, maybe I like the board, I like these players, but look, what's been going on is not good enough, and something has to change because
Because
that
it's never gonna happen, Zah, man. On the best of days, football fans are never gonna agree. I think the only commonality is we want to win trophies. I think some are. So I have a lot of questions clearly over over Mikel Arteta, but I think a lot of people, because they've never liked him, they're not gonna consider that not everything is his fault. Obviously, the buck falls with him. There's some people that are more clearly. I don't know if they fancy him, because I'm pretty sure some of these Arteta sexuals, they've probably got Martin Odegaard, Calafiori, and Arteta posters, and a lot of them are grown men. And if I'm honest, I think the club know this. Our club has never been united. Like you said with the Wenger out thing, I wanted Emre out. Some people wanted him to stay. We all know there was no bums on seats. We're never going to be united. And if I'm honest, I think the club honestly know that, for as much as people are questioning Arteta, there's a lot of mouthpieces that will say the positive propaganda, that will do the go again. When you say things enough times, it
kind of
starts
like what you
making
just
sense.
put on screen there.
Rosicki, all of that. It makes sense. Like when you can't, have you noticed one thing they keep saying is we've never we you need luck. You need luck. Of course, you need an element of luck, but a lot of the unlucky things are also self-inflicted, going back to the summer and January and relying on certain players that are spent. There's always this go again. Some fans are so battered and bruised of what we used to be to a degree beyond our before our even though we won trophies. They're cool with this. It's always the element of going again. Me, I'm at the stage now of getting over the line. And I think, if I'm honest with you, everybody at this football club is on borrowed time, but the Cronkies, because they're not going anywhere for evident reasons. If Arteta got sacked today, I can't be upset. I'm not even saying necessarily sacking him is the best option, but you can't be his role can't be untouchable. It is. We know he's not going anywhere. We know we're not the club that it's going to say, you know what, Arteta, you've got us to a point. We need to get someone that can work within this remit. I know we gave you a new contract. Pay up your compensation package, not just him, but like his coaching staff and all of that. Tear up the team, assuming the new manager wants to do that. We're here. As long as he keeps doing this kind of thing, we're here.
Yeah, no,
Not changing, bro.
it's I'm broken. I'm broken. And then on the sporting director thing, there we go. Look, man,
And this is like
watch.
what
We're
C's
not even
saying
going to
here
be
as
in the
well.
mix. On the sporting director thing, it's like, why is it taking this long? Why is it taking this long? It's when did Edu leave? Edu left
Market
at the
opportunity,
begin.
man.
Edu left at the beginning of the season. Edu left. That was 8 months ago. That was like 6, 8 months ago. Why has it taken this freaking long? I mean, this club is so incompetent. And then they're telling us, then they do this whole leaks thing. They do this. They do this whole leaks thing where it's like, oh, Rosicki, because they know that everybody likes Rosicki. He was a fan favorite. Oh, let's leak this news that which is a whole lot of nothing. The guy, it's like just wasting
Our
our
fans lap
time
that up
feeding
though,
us
man.
nonsense.
Like,
And let me tell you something. If I see from now until the end of the season, if this club has the nerve to even think about dropping another merch thing, I am getting on a plane here from
bro, you know they're
Chicago,
coming out
flying
with merch, bro.
directly back to Zimbabwe, going to see my fucking witch doctor down there and putting a curse on every
Stuff, bro.
single one of those fuckers that work at that football club because it is a freaking joke. You take the piss out of us like this. You don't even
It's a
prepare for the
cult, man.
season, and then you want us to buy jerseys. You want us to just keep buying jerseys and jackets.
But that's what's gonna be, bro. Because again, it's the PR. You go to Arsenal State, you go to Arsenal, You see it as a content creator, man. If you don't be honest, you'll get invited you'll get your match day passes, you'll get onto their live show, you'll get to be at their meet and greets and whatnot. Even looking at Martin Keown, bro. I love Keown to bits. He was a lot more quote unquote honest and balanced in his honesty. Now he's a lot more diplomatic. You saw the
Look at where he was
Champions
sitting. Look at where he was sitting for the West Ham game.
exactly, and you saw the
Right
Champions League
behind
jersey.
Aiton. What the fuck was Aiton doing?
This is it. Even I'll be real. I can't even hate on Jason Ito. I can be frustrated on him, but it's just further inlines the incompetence. Because for me, I look at him and say, "Rah, you're a novice. You was Edu's number 2. Why the fuck are you there? Man, are not gonna let you have that role unless they believe in you." Of course, when I see that we ain't signed no one and the club are impressed, that tells me the club's ambitions. Jason Ito shouldn't be in that role. I can't get vexed at you because I don't know what you're doing. I can't get vexed. I understand the frustration, but if I'm honest, and it's not to absolve him of anything, because maybe he failed in the market, but he's a novice, never been a sporting director. We are fighting for a Premier League title. January is a difficult period. You've put him in there, and again, as you said earlier, we have not acted in the months that have led up to January. So in the grand scheme of things, Jason Ito is another one that's just simply put, just here and existing, and a fragment of how we're maneuvering as a club, which is why I have to temper my expectations. I love the club. I do think the players and Arteta want to win. It's more how we're going about it. I don't necessarily think the Cronkies want to be winners, but they have presented money, which makes what I said irrelevant. I just have to see us win a title or win trophies in spite of everything, man. I don't
So
think
you're
the
trying
club
to
want
tell
to do
me,
that.
Deluded. You're trying to tell me that what we're resorting back to default. We're going
It is.
back to fighting for top four.
What else could it be? Like, what else could it be? A team that wants to win a league, 2 points off City, all them buzzwords that were said against
Oh
Everton.
man.
You don't have a summer like that. And people fall into this
Oh
trap of
shit.
market opportunity. Who is we going to sign? This, that. And I hear all of that. But are we a prime Invincible side? Are we a prime Barcelona side? Are you seeing how weak the foundations are? Is there nobody that could improve us? A team that wants to win a Premier League title, from those above Mikel Arteta, let alone him, you don't have a summer like that, scrambling for Neto and Sterling on deadline day. And if you had that summer where your sporting director's leaving, bearing in mind he's gone on gardening leave and hasn't worked out his tenure, so there could be something in that. If I even forgive you for that, January, you didn't do anything. So that tells me it's either incompetence, naivety, stupidity, or you're getting top 4 regardless. Because if me and you, we're just football fans, me and you can see, these guys have played bare games, there's going to be injuries. We need, away from whether it's injuries or just sheer ability or needing depth, everyone in
Two
this chat as well,
strikers.
you can see you
You
need
go
numbers.
in.
And
You rely
once you
on
don't do that,
Jesus.
there's injuries, bro.
That's why Arteta needs to go. How can you rely on Jesus, somebody that's never finished a Premier League season? That's who you buy, and that's who you rely on.
We're finished, man.
Ah,
If we're not finished,
it hurts. It hurts me.
It don't hurt me. It don't
and
hurt me.
it's. You're right. The whole market opportunity. I know exactly how the summer's gonna play out. The summer we're gonna get the goalkeeper in early because that's who Arteta
We need to be getting a fucking
actually wants.
striker in early.
We might not even get. I don't think we're gonna get Zubamendi. I don't think we're gonna get. And
Brother,
it's.
I'll be honest, brother. If Zubimendi's your guy,
I
go
don't know
get
if
him.
I
If
even want
Sesko's your
him.
one, if Neto's your one, go get all of them. But if you don't get them, don't sit here and tell me there was no one else. Because again, one thing about our club and the language,
That's what
the
they're gonna
more
do.
times you say something, the more believable it is, bro. People start believing this. You would think Sesko and Isaac, and as great as they are, or whatever, they're the
What
only
does
strikers in the world.
what does market opportunity even mean?
I don't know, because
What does that
everyone's a
mean?
market
You don't want to
opportunity,
pay.
bro.
Does that mean you don't want to pay what the player's worth?
We half step. We half do serious things. I don't agree with 65 million for Kai Havertz, but That's big money for a footballer. Declan
That
Rice
was a
speaks for.
waste of a. Talking about
Yeah, yeah,
market
no, but that's
opportunities.
not
That
that.
was
We
the
know that.
biggest waste of a
But
market
that's not
opportunity.
neither here nor there. If they genuinely thought Champions League winner, German international, he can help us win trophies, cool. Declan Rice, good signing. You're doing one big money signings, one or two here, and then on the other hand, you're differing on your hands. And regardless of what they tell me, yeah, if you are scrambling for Raheem Sterling, which could be a market opportunity because Chelsea couldn't wait to push him out the door, if you get to that stage, then how many players have you gone through? How did it get here? It's not serious, bro. It's not serious, bro. And this is why I said I'm at the point where the gloves are off for everyone. I'm not into this draw out, get onto the board and completely absolve Arteta or forgive the board and
I
completely
want
get onto
everyone
Arteta.
gone.
Everyone's in this shit together, bro.
I want 25 news. I was so angry on Saturday Deluded. I want 20 new squad faces. I put the list
You're
out.
not
I put a
even mad.
list out on Twitter on of people that I just don't think are good enough and just need to fucking go. It was like 20, almost
Who's not good
25.
enough? Now that the emotions died down.
It's
Fair
the
copium and
the
hopium,
list.
Tom.
Unfortunately, I'm using my phone on this, but I put it on. I literally put it on Twitter. But it was a lot of people.
And we was even offered Ollie Watkins. Big up C. We was actually offered Ollie Watkins. You know, I did a video on Tom Canton's channel. He said he confirmed that we were offered him. We didn't go for him. So is that a market opportunity or does that speak of the reactiveness? And for me, even if you felt Arteta was moving mad, if you was a board owner and you thought Arteta is moving mad and you really wanted to win, you'd say, "Rah, you know what? Liverpool are doing their thing. Jesus and Saka have been injured. Let's keep going." Even down to, the club were happy not to sign anyone with Saka's injury. It was Gabriel. If you remember the language that came out, it was Gabriel Jesus' injury that made them think, "Oh my God, what's going on?" It's incompetence. It's now a results driven business. As much as, like I said on the where we gave the example about Arsenal on the field, we can find contexts and reasons. We're not winning the league title. I can hear all of that. You don't want to overpay. January is a difficult market. There's no one. There's this, that, and the other. I hear that. But at the end of the day, did you get players in or not? You didn't. Hold
Nope.
smoke.
You
Simple.
did it. Then you don't want to overpay in January, but guess what? When you don't do what you're meant to do in the summer, then guess what you're gonna have to do?
You're in trouble,
Overpay
bro.
in January. And it's like what I hate about just how life and society works is that we as the fans are the driver of revenue. We as the fans are the driver of all the money that comes into Arsenal. And yet when we say we want something, we're the ones that
Mm.
buy the tickets, we buy the
Ask
everything, but
Bro, this
nothing
is the
happens.
worst club to play to support ZAH if you're an independent thinker. What do I always say on my channel? I'm not telling you what to think, just think. I see bare of the guys in my chat. We always disagree and agree. But one thing I say about my platform, people think the majority of our fan base are sheep. They'll be frustrated. The war chest rumors come out. We start doing this thing about referees and if this happened and if that. We always try dream up the ideal scenarios. And they know this inside the club, bro, 100%. And we're never like, even at, social media is one thing. You go to games for everyone that wants Mikel Arteta out. You can't say that about
I
you've
was
been
at
there. You
that
can't say that about
stadium.
Super Mick.
I was at
People
that
support
stadium.
ideologies
That
more than the
all
fucking club.
60,000 of them people, and that is why nothing will change because all 60,000 of them people, there is no one on this planet that goes harder in the pain for Mikel Arteta through all his failures than the people that go to those games. And then when you have an opinion, when you don't go to every single game, they tell you, no, shut up. You don't go to every game. I do. And it's
Bro, you see how Mikel Arteta is earning 15 million a year, yeah? I promise you, if he was to get fired today and he started an OnlyFans, he'll make a lot more than that with these Arteta sexuals, man. I'm not saying he's not. I actually am quite fond of Mikel Arteta. I think you're a good coach. I think there's
and
so
that's
many.
what hurts
I
me.
think
I
there's stuff
liked
I
the
like
guy.
about you,
I
but
liked the
I
guy.
love my club more than you. It's not Arteta into the death, bro.
I
Like, and
really
it's not
wanted
Arteta
this
out to the
guy.
death. We need
I
to
wanted
have a serious convo.
I really wanted this guy to be at the club for 20, 30 years
See,
like Wenger
I
did.
disagree. I
I
don't know
liked
about
him.
that, but I
I
hear that.
liked him. No, no, but that's how much I liked him. No, I'm a realist. I liked him that much when he started. I liked him, and I was like, all right, I want this guy to be long term. But unfortunately, it's as you alluded to, it's a result driven business. We now evaluate these last 5 years, and I'm sorry that I went from wanting the guy there forever to I might I want him gone. I guess It's just like, I mean, I'm not going to be the one leading the charge and all that, but if you ask me what my opinion on this guy right now is, I want him gone. All because
My opinion is I
he's
don't
put
care anymore, Zal, man. If he
he's
stays, he
put
stays. If
trust
he
in
goes, he goes.
he's put trust in the most useless guys ever. He's so ignorant, he doesn't change his ways. It's like the one way he's hammering the thing isn't working. He still just keeps hammering the thing the same ways that are hard, except harder. It's just like,
And it's even this comment, like big up boy, because he said a lot of things I agree with. He said people have faith in Arteta to get over the line because he's obviously a good enough coach to get over the line despite working at Kroenke's Arsenal. I'm not gonna lie, no one put a gun to this guy's head to get the job. I do think I can see why people could say if you had Isaac and this and that, you could, but you can't say he's good enough to get over the line at this moment in time because he hasn't got over the
he
line.
hasn't done it.
3 very different seasons, you have not got over the line. That's talking about the league. You haven't got over the line in Europe. You haven't got over the line in the league and domestic cups. You just haven't got over the line. And that's my
His
only
choice,
conversation with Arteta now. Every
his
year,
choice
it's
of
getting bigger and
players,
bigger.
his choice of players and what he prioritized. You brought that list up. You brought that list up a little earlier, that tweet from AFTV. 6 goalkeepers, 11 defenders,
Mm.
5 attackers in his tenure. We're about to buy a 7th goalkeeper. The 6
Especially in the
goalkeepers
last
are
two years, bro. Like the last 2 years, fair enough. We've had to build the squad, spine of the team. I hear all of that. But the last 2 years, including this year, it's become evident attacking players, goals win games. It feels like you've done all the complicated things. Now it's about stripping things back and keeping things simple. There's still no strike. We better get the best striker of the century, because all I hear is about Mikel Arteta wants this unique one, that unique one. There's no players on the market. Do you know how sick that striker has to be? And that winger, they've got to be going down at Arsenal folklore within the first 10 games. And this is why I'm in wait or see mode, because the club are setting themselves up for failure if the summer is a disappointment. I will believe we can win. I'm at the point I'll believe we can win major trophies when I see it. I'll believe we're serious in the market when I see it. I don't want any make believe, any war chest. I don't care about what our accounts look like. I don't care about how good or bad Arteta is as a manager and these players. Put your money where your mouth is and move serious. And that goes to everyone else. Until then, I'll always support my club. I love my club. Can't have any ambitions. I don't think I can. You've not
I'll
shown
watch.
me what I need to see.
I'll watch games. I'll watch games. I'll be there. I'll
Big
watch
up, Cat.
games for the rest of the season. Deluded. Guess what? Guess what? I won't be doing. Anytime the team scores, I'm not celebrating. Those
See, I
goals count
disagree
for.
with that. Me, I'm
Those
still
goals count
celebrating,
for
man.
nothing. Why should I celebrate? Those goals count for
At the end
nothing.
of the day, I support the club in it. I'm still
No, I
celebrating,
mean, I
bro. If you're
support
gonna
the
be mad
club, but
either
it's
way,
like,
that's
just
moving mad.
like, why? It's like they count for. It's I celebrate. Yay! It went in just to come freaking second, or who knows? At this point, we might even be out the top 4.
Nah, I think we'll get top 4, but
I
it's
know this club,
scary.
bro. I know this club, especially, and when we get to disaster stage, bro, we just cannot get out of. We lose in bunches.
But you could you argue then, being devil's advocate, yeah? Could you argue that now that we're under no pressure, as some Arsenal
Yeah,
fans
that's what
say,
Yoga Bonito. Of course,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
why
we're
I'm
gonna
angry.
play out of our skin. All of a sudden,
That
Odegaard's
is why
about
I'm
now.
angry. That's why I'm angry, and I'm not going to celebrate because now it's going to be Yoga Bonito. You're going to see Odegaard turn into prime Lord. Who are they comparing him to this last week? Prime. They were trying to tell me Odegaard's better than Özil. Shut up, man.
Catch, big
The-
you up, man. But I hope you're right with the Champions League thing, bro. That's
That
PSV
they
is one
still in
thing, Real
Champions League,
Madrid's another. I
brother.
hope you're right,
We're
bro.
getting out. We're getting PSV is knocking us out.
I hope not,
Arsenal.
but we've seen it against
Whenever
Villarreal,
Arsenal,
Sporting, and Olympiacos.
I know, because this is based off history. Whenever Arsenal needs to do something, they let everybody down. Sporting last year, we needed to win. Guess what happened? They knocked us out. We're getting knocked out by PSV.
Boy, PSV.
It's
This is
so
not an easy game. I just
it's.
don't see what I need to see to believe that we can get over the line. I want to be wrong. I ain't saying we're
I'm
gonna
just
win it, but season ain't
I'm
over. Yeah, I hear
I'm
that.
hurt,
Technically, it's
dude.
not over, but blood, it's like going to a rave and just looking at gal and buying the juice for no reason.
The
We're not getting no
season's over,
numbers,
man. And
bro.
these are the guys. These guys need to do be realistic. The season's over.
I don't want the players to believe that, but it's over, bro.
They already the players have believed that since the beginning of the season. I mean,
You
Odegaard
reckon? Nah,
has
that's harsh.
no show. Well, okay, not beginning. But I mean, look at this.
You really
We
think
were,
we're
and
dropping
that's the
outside
thing,
the
right?
top
We
four?
weren't. I was ignoring. I was ignoring the haters, thinking the haters when we're squeaking by and all that, bro. If we weren't getting goals from, imagine if Gabby Magales. I want to go back after we're done and see where we would have been, re-revise points, where we would have been without the corners.
We'll be in a lot. We'll be down the shitter, mate. Like, and even the corners have evaporated, man. And
That
that's
is
what
what
annoys
was.
me, bro. If we just took the last 2 seasons, the defensive display last year, how we were defending, the attacking from that year before. I know it's easier said than done, but combine them and do other things. We could be doing a lot, man. We could be doing a lot. But you really think we're gonna drop outside the top 4, bro? Like mathematically, it can happen. Like 53 points. Nottingham
Okay.
Forest tomorrow could close the gap on us. City are still lurking. We're actually lucky it's not the City that it was, in it. Like, that's not our fault. But you could argue if Liverpool were top of the table, City were what City is expected to be, would we be second? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know.
Do you think how many games do we have left? 10? 11?
Like 11, 12, isn't it? If my maths
With
is
this
right.
team, 12 games left. With this team in the current state that it's in, with those 12 games. You think we'll win like you think we'll win like 10, 9, 10, 11 of them? And
Nope.
that's what that's that's
Nope.
that's what it needs. That's what it needs to be to maintain that second place. Because let me
It's
tell you
just
something.
vibes now, isn't it? It's
Things
just
things
vibes.
below us, things below us ain't gonna be static. That's what
If
people
we
need to
finish outside the top 4, then I think they'll sack Arteta. But then I think the Cronkies might look at it and say, you know what? We
I'm at
didn't
the
buy
point
anyone
where
in
I
Jan.
kind of
We ain't
want
got a
that.
sporting director.
I'm at the point where I kind of just to spite the Cronkies because he's just there to collect
Look at the
cash, but he'll
games,
get his
fam.
money back. And yeah, who is it? United for bro.
All right, you know what?
If you're
Let's
feeling
do.
confident about top 4 deluded,
No, I still think we'll do
you're
it, but let's
being
do win. You know what? Yeah,
you're
let's go
being
through
as
the.
your namesake says, my bro.
Let's go through the games. Yeah, W, draw or L. Yeah, let's go through all of them quickly. Quickly. Nottingham Forest, win, lose or draw.
Away, Forest away.
Win, lose or
That's
draw,
tough.
bro.
That's gonna be an L.
Win, lose or draw.
L. Because we got to break him down. That's a good defense that we have to break down. People have figured us out. That's what you
Nah,
got to
they're
understand, Deluded,
shaky
is that
defensively,
everybody
but we
we
can't
are
score.
we're so simple. We are so simple to figure out. And I'll tell you exactly how it's going to happen with Forest. Forest is well equipped to give us an absolute hiding. They
Deep
are
block
the
counter attack. They're gone.
guess who's leading their counter? Anthony Elanga on one end, Callum Hudson-Odoi on the other. Which one of our fullbacks are keeping up with them guys? Zinchenko?
Nah, to be fair, I got fit. Well, shit, there's no Lewis Kelly. Calafiori, inshallah. Timber, you might have to go left back,
You
and
saw what
Benjamin White comes in, you
Calafiori,
know.
you saw what Wan Bissaka
Yeah,
did.
he's
You saw
shaky
what Wan Bissaka did
defensively.
to him.
I got time
Calafiori
for
is too
Calafiori.
much of a
He did it
punk
to
to even try
himself.
and go
He
tackle.
did it to himself. That's the one thing about Calafiori. He's doing this shit to himself. Leicester. He could have been sent off against West Ham. West Ham, I got a lot of time for Calafiori. I'm not going to write him off, but defensively, he's so shaky. I remember watching the game like, brother, surely you're going to close it down. Obviously, the other players effed up as well, but surely. But yeah, you went L in it. You went L with Forest.
Forest is that's again counterattack. If you have got two strong counterattack, if you got a counterattacker in your team, you are favorites against Arsenal.
Nine
Because
times out of 10, yeah.
all you gotta do, Deluded, is because we get so frustrated, Odegaard will, if you just hold fort for like 10, 25 minutes, Odegaard will start moving his hair around, start throwing his arms up and down each time he misses a simple pass kind of thing. That's all you gotta wait for. Once that happens, the lapse in concentration, boom, counter, bang, Chris Wood. You have an outlet too. They have an outlet too in Chris
All
Wood.
right, cool,
Hold
man.
up.
All right, so you went. I'm going. You know what? I'm going draw Nottingham Forest. Just W. No explanations. Just L. You went L. I went W. PSV away. W or an L, or a draw.
W.
W. Man United. I'm going W.
W. Because they're just awful.
I'm going L at PSV. Well,
Yep.
our
Away,
place.
right?
No, at home. At home. Sorry.
Oh wait. So the first leg is away.
Brother, where's your glasses? Bro, you got glasses on that you can't see, bro. The first one's right there, Killy.
That is true. That is true. Right there. Boom. Ah, damn. So second leg, W. I think we're actually. You know what? I was just overzealous. We'll get past PSV. It's a Madrid that will get knocked out. Chelsea, I don't know.
But Chelsea, I'm going all the top 6. I'm going W's, man.
Chelsea
like,
W maybe.
If there's
Chelsea's
one I don't want to lose, it's these lot. United fans, they do all of that. I'm going W. What did you say for the PSV home leg?
W.
Fair.
Chelsea W.
L,
I'll go W for Chelsea.
Well, I think we're losing to Fulham. I'll be real. I'm going to be there.
That's a guaranteed L right there. Because guess
Smith
what?
Rowe, I can see it.
For
I
20
think we're
games
losing at Everton.
what was the thing against you saw that stat against Fulham, West Ham, Aston Villa, and I forgot what the other fourth team was. Arteta, 20 games, he's lost 11.
It's written in the script, bro.
1-4.
Everton, I think at L Goodison
Away,
Park, nasty.
that's a draw at
Plus,
best.
Arteta seems to F up against Everton. Brentford, that could go either way, you know.
That's tricky. That's I'll go W for us.
Draw, I'm gonna say draw. Ipswich,
W for us.
yeah, W. Palace at home,
Draw, tricky. That one's gonna be tricky.
yeah.
Draw,
That
I
I
think.
feel this. I feel that's a bit like the Brentford one. That could it
Yeah.
could go south still.
Yeah. That one's hanging on a knife edge. Bournemouth, L.
W, because W Martinelli, you're bagging in that game. Bournemouth, yeah,
Haha, will he be back by then? That's April, yeah. April.
inshallah, man. That's all I got. Vibes. That's
Bournemouth.
all I got. Areola's bopping us. I'm gonna say L. I want to be wrong. We're getting bopped. We're gonna get schooled. I hope they're in a shit bit of form.
Bournemouth, L.
You know what? Because Liverpool would have wrapped up the league by then, I'm gonna say W against Liverpool. You know,
They'll still beat us, L. Salah.
Newcastle.
Counter attack, bro. Counter attack. Salah,
Low
Diaz,
blocks,
they have
deep
too many
blocks,
weapons.
mid blocks,
Newcastle's an
counter-attack.
L, you know it.
Newcastle.
Newcastle has embarrassed us this entire season. They have dog
They got our
walked us.
number, man.
How many games have we played against Newcastle? So that's 2 cup games. We played 3-4 games against Newcastle. Dog
I
walk.
said completely off topic. I chat. Stop doing all of that, please. Be nice,
Oh,
please. Stop
what
doing
did they-
Stop doing nonsense. Stop doing nonsense. Free up everybody, please. Stop the in-house nonsense. Catch, comment again. Let me make you a mod because what the hell is going on there, people?
Oh, they
Yeah, I don't know,
they're going
man. I
crazy
don't
down
know. You
there.
lot. There's Catch. He's a mod now. You lot stop the nonsense, man. But yeah, go on, bro.
Yeah, so Newcastle not confident. Southampton will be a W. Then Newcastle. The thing about the Newcastle one is that's when they do the Newcastle game, bro. Imagine they're gonna have to do their walk of clap around the thing, walk
Guard
around,
of
clap
honor.
around the fans after an
How
hour.
do you feel about the Guard of Honor thing? Because I've been asking everyone I've been doing content with.
I would rather, honestly, I would rather it be done the first weekend of the new season after the teams actually won. This whole
What kind of woke
making us
nonsense is that, Zara? What are you talking
this
about?
whole making us do the once they've mathematically been secured, now you have to clap them, man. I mean, they're enemies, especially
It's not
like at
even.
your home ground.
That's too tribal for me, man. I know why you'd say that, and I don't think you're wrong. But for me in sport, end of the day, whatever way you shape it, Liverpool were the better men and women, I guess, for the collective club. It is what it is. You lot did that. It don't
Nah.
affect me. If anything, we should be angry at ourselves. If we didn't want that reality, we should have won what we needed to win. I
We
want
should
the
have
boys.
fixed our situation. Yep.
Exactly. I want the players to hurt. I want that to, if you have to go to Anfield and do that, I want you lot to remember how it feels. Just like I said in last season, I want you to remember how it felt the last day of the season at Everton, to the point where we knew City were going to win the league. But based on the mathematics, there must have been a replica Prem trophy there. They must have walked past a potential, you know, when they build the things for you lot to jump up and down at. These are the things that should drive you, let alone the football club. I clearly know certain people that own this football club, they're just happy to be second, if I'm honest with you. Like, we were fighting and whatnot. But for the players and all that, you lot, I want you lot to know how that feels. And then
all Cronky cares about is the fact that that stadium is full. There's a 40,000 person waiting list for season tickets. That's all that matters. Everything else is second, because he knows that we will keep buying. So no matter how angry you and I get, Deluded, let's say we're both season ticket holders, you know, we're both season ticket holders. I'm on protest. I'm like, I'm not going to watch. Guess what? This next game, our 2 seats will be filled.
agendas, influences with their agendas. He changed Arsenal's mediocre team to someone everyone fears. How come people want him out? Board let us down. Refs made a lot of mistakes. Why isn't this a talking point? I can only speak for myself. We know referees are a talking point, but equally, there's many times we drop points that's got fuck all to do with the refs. We hear I've been very critical on the board, but at the same time, Mikel Arteta took the job. What is all of this agenda thing? My agenda is only Arsenal to be the best football club. If we can do that with Mikel Arteta, great. At some point, we're going to have to ask questions as many times as we have a season like this, where there's a lot to be positive about, but ultimately you come up short. everybody has to be question mark. Why can't we sit? I could sit there and say this comment is an agenda just to be loyal to Arteta. This is the
Yugi,
bitch boy stuff I'm talking about where Arsenal's concerned.
here's the thing, Yugi. It's very simple. It's very simple. The goal was to win the Premier League title, and guess what? He has failed. All that you're saying is all blah 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 things that don't matter.
Exactly. At
All
some
that
point,
you're
you have
saying,
to
oh, he's
control the
improved the club
controllables,
and all
bro.
that. That's for us to go happy go lucky and all that and run around doing that. All that doesn't matter. It's
Does not
about,
matter.
did
Like
he bring back a trophy or
refs have
not?
done us dirty back to the Wenger days, bro. George Graham for those that were there. Like refs play a part. Clearly, they've done that. But can we really just put it down to the referees? Really? We remove all the ref mistakes, we probably have more points. Are we necessarily winning the league? There's multiple facets. Why don't we
Cass,
focus on the things that we can control? Have we maximized every fragment of this football club with the controllables? You're a liar if you say we do. We have. You're
Cass
lying.
J with a great comment here. There's gonna be, out of the three guys you mentioned, only two will pull their weight.
Listen, I got faith in everyone, man. Like at this point, it's a faith
That's
thing in
sterling,
everyone.
man.
Everyone's just gonna have to try now, innit? Like
I'm hurt,
I've mentally
deluded.
checked out.
I'm hurt. I'm hurt.
I've mentally checked out. So it is what it is, man. It fully is what it is. What
This,
managers would you both want?
this,
The managers I want, we can't get, bro. I can't like. I kind of like this new age manager stuff. I want Xabi Alonso, but he's not gonna sign for us if we
nah,
were
we
to get
can.
that.
We don't go after them. The thing is, right? The managers we can get them. We just don't go after them because guess what? All those managers that we want are paid less than Arteta.
And they might leave if we're not doing certain things. Like, I'm not even saying we necessarily have to sack
The
Arteta, but
Shabby
I'm
Alonso
not just
makes
gonna
way
say
less.
keep the guy because I'm scared of the unknown.
I think Shabby Alonso makes like half of what Arteta makes.
Bro, he's going Real Madrid and all them things, man. He's not. Are you lot in the chat? Chill out, man. If you lot want to fight, please shout me. We're gonna do misfits. This is getting streamed on my channel. Let's make some bread. But you lot, man, what's going on, man? You
What do
lot are
we what do
doing
we
the
have?
most.
What's I've been watching the one guy, the one UK thing. This is a bit way
And it
off
is about
topic,
the
but it's
ownership.
it's it's jumped up on my Instagram algorithm. The ID, what's his name? Lippy did it before. The boxing thing that's
The
what is it,
misfits
Wicked
thing.
and Bad or something?
I think there's misfits, there's wicked and bad, there's all
Yeah,
things.
that
And
I've been
that's
seeing the
also a good
clips.
point, Catch, man. Like again, if you were to get them 30 man, that's why I think there was a time where I think we genuinely could have got Pep Guardiola. I think we could have got Klopp. I think Klopp would have worked more at Arsenal because just like in FFG, he's more happy to kind of just work with what he's got. Any competent manager or any manager that wants what we want, I'm not saying Arteta doesn't, but he's not in that realm. They're gonna walk away, bro. They're gonna walk away. They're gonna get pissed off and walk away. That's why I say this is a relationship of convenience with Mikel Arteta. This ain't a damsel in distress thing like he's doing us a favor. He's been in this job 6 years, been allowed to do a lot. It isn't all his fault, but this is why I think you have to look at things like multiple layered. I don't think anybody is faultless. I think Harry Simeon says it. It's like a crime scene. There's bare fingerprints. There's bare joint enterprise, man. Bare of it. It's jarring.
I don't know, deluded. I'm dejected. I see no light at the end of the tunnel. Second highest paid. There you go. Yeah, second highest paid. I see no light at the end of the tunnel, and
And this
it's
is it.
affecting me.
Everybody ain't done enough,
It's
blood.
affecting me
Everyone. Because if we
from top
won,
to
I'd
bottom.
praise everybody. It's peak, bro.
From top to bottom, bro.
It's peak. Before I
I
let you
don't
get
know
out
what
of
to
here,
do.
yeah. Give me a prediction for Nottingham Forest.
All right, let me try not to be negative
No,
and
say
all.
what you honestly feel, bro.
Realistically, all right, I'll give you my real take. I'm very worried. I'm very worried, and I explained this earlier. We've been figured out. We like having the ball. We're not incisive when we have the ball. We're not, we don't pass through the lines well. So if you're a team playing
Predictable.
against us and you can just concentrate, if you can concentrate for 60, 70 minutes, that frustrates us completely and then hit us on the counter. Forest is set up that way. They've also have an outlet that can hold up, brilliant outlet that can hold up the ball. I want to see how Saliba does against him because he's another one he's a fan favorite, but he's been useless this season, if you ask me. So I want to see how he handles Chris Wood. I'm not confident going into Forest.
Whoa.
I'm going to try to be positive and say, I'm going to try to be positive and I'm going to lie to you guys and say Arsenal 2-1. But I'm not confident.
I think, yeah, let's try to do the positive thing. 1-0 to the Arsenal, but I think it could get dark, man. I think it could get very dark. Before I let you get out of here, yeah, I was going to speak about this in my 4 p.m. stream. I know this ain't going to happen, but could you argue it's time to change formation? And I was just thinking, look, they're likely to play a 4-2-3
Let me tell
kind
you
of one.
something. What we've been doing ain't working, Deluded. It has been
Obviously, you
working.
can
So
make a
logic would
case of
dictate.
Calafiori and all these guys, but or White and like you see, they're assuming
Logic would dictate, especially now. Logic would dictate, yes, especially now with the change of personnel. You don't have your personnel. You have a lot of people injured. You don't have your attackers, and now I see
You
you're
need
putting
some bloody width,
you're
mate.
putting the back three thing. That's what we're gonna have
Yeah,
to do because we don't have attackers. We're literally gonna have to be going for 1-0 victories and praying that our defenses can help.
because the Calafiori's Tini's obviously better than Calafiori going forward, but like Calafiori, if there was positives, it's how you are in the opponent's half versus us. Tini obviously is the flying Scotsman. I think we're going to keep the same formation. I think there's a big chance to see Timber go back to left back. Maybe Benjamin White gets a start. I don't know where we're at with his fitness, but if nothing changes, isn't it? Yeah, but Hudson-Odoi is gonna. Hey, it's peak, man. We're not
Yeah.
We're not changing our formation, man. It's just a little chatting with us Arsenal fans, man. Boy, you know we're not changing
Yeah,
shit.
just to keep us entertained. Nothing's gonna change, bro. We chat just to have fun on the internet.
Just enjoy it. Just bro. Just I
This
got no
club
words,
is
man. Just we're here, innit? Win, lose
this
or draw.
club
A's
has
up to threes
ruined
up.
my
But
life.
let people know they can find you, man.
Listen, Deluded, let me go to work, man. This club has ruined my life, man. At the Midget Zimbo on Twitter, you'll see me
And
moan about Arsenal lately. On TikTok, I actually haven't. Actually, you know what? I need to get back
them
on my
TikToks
TikTok.
are mad.
Bro, but I haven't been. I need to
Follow
get
with
back on it.
caution.
I need to get back on it. Arsenal's been depressing me so much that I haven't been consistent with my TikTok. But the Midget Zimbo, Instagram, TikTok, and X.
Make sure you're smashing the like button and your following. I can't believe we haven't got 100
There it
likes. You
is.
lot are violating. It's because too many people are busy, puffing out chests and trying to fight in the chat, man. But you lot let me down because you lot don't behave like this. You lot don't behave like this normally. When there's guests and whatnot, you lot are doing too much, man. We're trying to
Yeah,
be
well,
Switzerland and centralists here. But yeah, man, make sure you're following the midgets in Bozar. It's always a pleasure. Hopefully next
bro.
week, we're optimistic about something.
Yeah. Hopefully. Oh yeah. Champions League will be next week. That's all we have left, Deluded. Now we pray for a miracle.
I think them prayers gonna fall on deaf ears, man. But yeah, hit the like button, follow the man. Them we're out, man. Peace.
Take it easy. Peace out.
Come on.